It is the Flow Friday Night Sports Show. Let's talk Hume Netball now, and they returned to action last weekend. 5 of the 6 scheduled matches actually got to hit the court in the A-grade competition, and Carla Fletcher joins us now from the Hume Netball Association. How are you, Carla?
I'm good, thanks, Jason. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Let's have a look back to last week's matches, and it was always going to be a bit of a lottery this week, wasn't it, in terms of what clubs had who and numbers and those sorts of things. So we didn't quite get any of the close games we were hoping to get, but at least you got plenty of clubs hitting the court. That's the most important thing.
Yes, no, it was good. A lot of clubs got most of their teams up and running, so that was a great effort from all of them, really.
Yeah, well done. Let's start, first of all, with Howlong, who took on Holbrook. A big game for both clubs. Holbrook still in touching distance, I guess, of the top 6, but probably a lot's going to have to go right for them now. They went down in the end to Howlong, who secured their finals berth, winning 51-35. So good win for Howlong.
Yeah, no, it was. Howlong got a bit of a jump on Holbrook with a 10-goal lead in the first quarter. A lot of the players were adapting to the wet conditions, so good on them for keeping on going. Holbrook clicked in the second half and put a bit of pressure on Howlong. But look, after a week of uncertainty, Howlong was able to get up and put together a really strong performance and came away with a 16-goal win. Holbrook's Abby Jennings had a super game in the mid-court, and best players for Howlong were their goal shooter Erin Harbright and Georgina McLeod, who played wing defence.
Moving on to Jindera taking on Henty. Now, this was the game in the A grade that was a forfeit. Henty forfeited here, I believe, and they did actually play in some other grades, though, throughout the day, did they not?
Yeah, they did. They didn't play A and B grade, but all other teams took the court. And Jindera, unfortunately, were probably looking for a bit of a bigger percentage boost, but they didn't play on the weekend.
We move straight on to Lockhart taking on Colac, who Lockhart certainly got a percentage boost here, taking on one of the bottom sides, beating them 78-24. So much needed percentage boost for the Lockhart crew and moving them up into third spot on the ladder.
Yeah, no, it was a good game from Lockhart, but the score really didn't reflect the game. Gabrielle Gibbons, coach of Colac, was really proud of how her girls, turned up and conducted themselves on the court and went out there and gave it a bit of a crack. Colac's awards went to Carly Lee, who had a continuous good, strong go in defence against Lockhart shooter Olivia Lang. And Holly Murphy and Paige Brown took the awards home for Lockhart.
Another result which is important for finals, Murray Magpies, they stay in touch. They had to win against CDHBU, and they did, but it was a tight one, 36-27. So a much-needed win, but pretty tight.
Yeah, it was a very interesting game for the Magpies when they took on the power. There was rain, wind, a bit of sun. So, the players were really adjusting to all the weather conditions. CDHBU started off really strong, but then Magpies took over in at the end of the first quarter, and they just continued to keep winning, and they won by 9 goals. Best players for CDHBU were Courtney Haig, Gabby Brown and Rachel Hanrahan. And for the Magpies, Annabelle Lee and Tara Lishke had great games.
We moved to Osborne and the Billabong Crows, and regularly this would be one of the matches of the round. Unfortunately, though, we were in a situation, I think, where the Crows were anyway, where they were missing a few of their regulars. But Osborne, you've still got to do what you've got to do, and they did it on the bit, 51-17. Way too good.
Yeah, no, they had a really good win against, as you said, an undermanned Crows lineup due to the Victorian restrictions. Look, the game started off really good in the first few minutes. It was a great tight tussle, but then Osborne just set it up and took control for the rest of the game. Coach's award went to Lucy Bennett for her confident game in goal attack against Crows' strong, clean defender in Harriet Simpson. And look, every single one of the girls for Osborne had a brilliant game, working well together, and they all took home the Players Award for the weekend.
Randwill-Bundry-Waller, they put on 51 in their game as well against Brockbyrom. And now this is an important win for the Giants, keeps them in the top 6. They won by 25, so a solid win. And for Brockbyrom, it's probably their finals chances done.
Yeah, they've got some tough matches coming up, Brockbyrom, but it was a fantastic start from Randwill-Bundry, with the Saints only scoring 1 goal in the first quarter. CB Saints fought back in the second quarter. However, Randwill-Bundry, while they were far too strong all over the court, Jessica Cotter got some beautiful mid-air intercepts, winning her the mug for the game. Mel McClellan held strong in the goals, shooting and rebounding well. And Caitlin Mortius and Caitlin Cotter both filled in for Vivian Mallow. She was under Victorian restrictions, and they played solid halves in wing defence. For the Saints, Rachel Kaczynski was best on court, and their two other awards went to Lucy Ennis and Carla Boyd.
All right, let's move on to round 15 of matches. Now, first question for you, Carla, before we get to the games. Any forfeits this week due to the situation with the lockdown as well? Not the lockdown, but the border closure, as we know. Or is everyone going to be taking the field this week?
Yep, we should have a full line-up in A grade and most other grades on the day. And, look, it's been a huge effort from all clubs with adapting to the ever-changing conditions they've had to face each week to take the court. So a great effort from everybody.
Let's start by having a look at the Billabong Crows. They've got a really big game against Brockbyrom, likely to be undermanned again. Can the Saints get over them?
No, they should have a full line-up this week and...
Right.
You know, they'll be a little bit more settled and know what's going on. So they should be back on the winning list when they take on BB Saints on the weekend.
In that case, yes, CDHBU, they will host Jindera at Kareen, and you'd think the away side there, Jindera, will be too strong.
Yeah, I think Jindera will be looking forward to getting back on the court after a week off last week. They should account for CDHBU, and they'll be looking for a big scoring game to boost their percentage and keep that second spot.
Here's an interesting game. Henty taking on Colac, 11th and 12th on the ladder. Only one win between the two sides this year. They'll both be desperate to have a win here. Yeah,
this will be a really hard-fought game, and I think it'll be fairly close. And Colac will be looking for their first win of the season against Henty, and they've only had one win. But Colac are looking pretty good at the moment, and they'll be really keen to see if they can win the 4 points.
Last chance now for Holbrook at home. They take on Randall-Bundry Wallet. The Giants will be favoured going into this one and probably should win. But if Holbrook are going to play finals, they absolutely have to win this game.
Yeah, I think Randall-Bundry will up. They play a really consistent and a pressured game, and they'll be wanting to cement their spot in the top six. And I think they'll be too strong for Holbrook. I think that'll drive them to take the 4 points.
Top versus fifth, and both of these sides quality when they're up and about. We know how good Osborne are. Howlong are pretty good as well. It's at Howlong, and will that favour the home side, or will the top side just be too good?
Oh, look, Osborne are really looking forward to travelling to Howlong, and they're expecting a much closer battle than when they met in round 4. Both teams will be looking to play their best as games lead up to the finals, and it will be a massive battle in the circle at both ends of the court. But I think Osborne are a bit on the roll at the moment, and I think they're going to be a little bit too strong for Howlong.
And to Lavington, the Murray Magpies will take on Lockhart. Now, this could end up being the match of the round, but you would think Lockhart start favourites here. The Murray Magpies, though, they will be desperate to at least stay close, at the very least, but hopefully get the job done from their point of view. Their finals chances are at risk here.
So Magpies will be looking for a win, but I think Lockhart will be too strong, and Lockhart will be looking for a bit of a percentage boosting game to edge closer to Jindera. And depending what happens in the next few weeks, might just secure that second spot.
Well, good luck to everyone hitting the courts across Hume Netball this weekend. And Carla, thank you very much for joining us again here on the Flow Friday Night Sports Show.
Thanks, Jason. Talk next